to everybody over here. So we've got a wonderful program for you today. And we could not do this without the fearless leader of all time, Dr. Davia Shepherd. Come on. So I know you guys know this beautiful lady. What do you think about her pink today? I told her she needed to be sparkly and stand out because she often is behind the scenes doing everything for everybody else, but she is a powerhouse. And she has brought together this community in a way. Look around the room, online. You know the energy that she attracts, right? And it's such a positive community. Oh, I have to say her word, collaboration. And we love you dearly, and we thank you so much for making this space safe and inclusive and like building the platform so we can do what we do. So round of applause. Please help me welcome the one and only Dr. Davia Shepherd.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, everybody who's joining us virtually. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see everybody today. It's been an interesting last couple of years. It's been certainly a wonderful opportunity for us to all learn and grow. Boy, have we been challenged on our edges. Is it just me? Anybody else feel like the last couple of years have really encouraged us to grow in a different way? So when we were deciding, what are we going to call this summit? And we sat in quiet contemplation. And I remember I was on a call with Sorabel Martinez, who we're so proud and so excited to share her vision with everybody today. Sorabel said, well, why don't we call the summit Build Your Unbreakable Business? Because the thesis that we're putting forward here today is that, you know what? It's always going to be something, whether it's a pandemic or it's our own challenges in our own lives, there's always going to be something going on around us. But what are the tools that we have that we can build ourselves in a way that when the winds of time shift us from place to place, that we will still remain standing firm? What are the tools that we can build into our businesses so that our businesses can also, remember that word, pivot? Our businesses can bend instead of break. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about building ourselves unbreakable, and we're going to be talking about some practical things. Because here's one of the things that I always notice. I go to a lot of conferences, I go to a lot of summits, I participate in a lot of developmental activity. And one of the things that I notice is that you go to an event and there's an opportunity for you to learn something that will build your business. Or you go to an event and you learn something that will help build your emotional, spiritual well-being. But what would happen if we're able to bring all of that together in one place? That was what I was thinking. And so how we're setting things up for this summit is that in the morning, we're going to talk about a lot about the practical things, a lot about the things that we can implement into our businesses and work on for growing our finances, growing our networks, that sort of thing. And then in the afternoons, both today and tomorrow, we're going to be focusing more on that personal development, that emotional development, that spiritual development piece. And so I know you thought you were going to just sneak in over there, but I see you, Tiffany. Welcome. I'm just so happy to see everybody. And I want us to, I'm going to say that word, collaborate. I want us to make this event a true collaboration. So I'm going to do a couple of housekeeping things just to make sure that we do all of those things. Everybody with me? No sleeping during this portion of the program. Okay, so I want to say you are sovereign. You always have an opportunity to take a break. The bathrooms are outside and to your left. So anybody who needs to do that at any time, you're welcome to do that. But we do have breaks built into the program. And so if you want to just go on over to Encaptive, you'll be able to, Sandy will have sent everybody the link so that you can log into Encaptive and you can see the agenda in its entirety and you can kind of have an idea of when you want to break. So that's one, break. Number two, we had a little fun. I don't want to call it a raffle, but it was sort of like an encouragement to encourage people to register. And so we gave away a fun little designer tote. And so we're gonna later in the day today choose the winner for that from the attendees who purchased a ticket. I want to say thank you to Shannon and Encaptive. I want to say thank you to everybody who made it here today. It is everything because events aren't what they used to be. Back in the day, we used to be able to pack this room with 180 people, but folks are still a little, some people are still a little not so comfortable meeting together in person, and that's understandable. And so we're looking forward to maybe for our next summit, being able to really be back together with each other in the way that we are accustomed. I want to say thank you to, and this is important, everybody who shared this event with a friend, everybody who reached out to somebody and said, hey, you want to come to this summit? That's everything. Because when we started Ladies Power Lunch in 2010, 6 women in a Ruby Tuesday on Route 6 in Bristol who just felt like the way that we were networking in the traditional ways didn't feel right. And we wanted to do something different. When we met together, what we decided was, if you can make it, great. We're going to meet on the third Monday of every single month. And if you can't make it, that's all right too. We'll see you next month. And the other thing, always bring a friend. Fair? So everybody who brought a friend, thank you. I want to say thank you. We had 26 presenters scheduled to share with you today. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of information. That's a lot of connections that you now have at your disposal. In addition to being able to see them and meet them here in the room, some of them in the room today, you'll be able to meet and see some of them in the virtual room tomorrow, and you'll have the access to the replays for a full month after the summit, so you can continue to connect with them. We also will have their information inside the Encaptive portal, so you can connect with every single one of these people. The segments are 20 to 30 minutes long for each person. And what I want you to understand is that for a summit, you don't want to have somebody on. I'm going to give you a little background knowledge now for all of you when you're ready to host your own summits. You don't want somebody on a stage for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, because the truth of the matter is after 20 minutes, and have I been talking for 20 minutes yet? After 20 minutes, everybody is already on their phone. Everybody's already moved on. Everybody's already doing something. So you're going to get a taste of these amazing people. But what I would encourage you to do is pop into the Encaptive portal and look at their contact information. If they said something that pings for you, that feels alive for you, connect with them. That's what they're here for. Who agrees with that? Who on our Zoom call agrees with that? I'm not seeing the hands over here. Come on, guys, let's go. Yay. I saw Dr. Tanya. She's waving both hands. I love it. Thank you. I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Another Summit 101. None of this happens through ticket sales, guys. It doesn't. That's not how you're able to put a summit on. It's all because of the generosity of our sponsors. So with that in mind, I would invite you with a very full heart to go and look at the sponsor booths and also go into the Encaptive portal and look at their offers. They have given so much to make this event possible. So let's please give back to them. Fair? Yeah? No? Yeah? Okay, yeah. Thank you to Sarabel Martinez for allowing us to launch her book, for allowing her message to be part of the message that we're sharing today, which is that when we're together, we can be unbreakable. It is possible. I want to say thank you. There are a few people who are part of the Ladies Power Lunch advisory team, and you guys know yourselves. If you would stand for me, and I just want to ask everybody to give these ladies, Jen, Elizabeth, I see April's trying to not stand over there in the corner. Wendy Lee. And also, we do have some of our members who are joining with us online, like Lori and Barb Pritchard. I really, really appreciate Shannon, who's also joining us online. Can you just give these ladies a round of applause? It doesn't happen with just one person sitting in an office at her computer. It really is a team effort, and I really appreciate you all. I want to say thank you to Sandy and her staff, and they have done so much. I saw Dr. Tanya posted on our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, and she said she got a perfectly wrapped swag package coming to her in the mail. And it's because Amen was in the office packing and making sure that everything was ready. You know, people were going to the post office and mailing things. It's really an involved effort. I want to say thank you to our authors. Gail, Wendy is here. Adam is here. There's some of our other members who are authors who are also joining us virtually. I want to say thanks to John and the tech team. I want to say thanks to Michelle Hamilton and the management and staff of Farmington Gardens. All right. If you want to check the agenda, you want to see what's coming up, just go into the Encaptive portal, click on agenda, and you'll be able to see that. If you want to look inside your swag bag, you'll see there are certainly gifts from us, but there are also gifts from many of our sponsors and our speakers. So do take a minute to look at those. And there's a form on your table which is inviting you to be part of the program tomorrow if you would like to. It's called, what's it called? Love Seat form. You can fill that in. And for those of us who are online, Sandy will have emailed that to you. So you should be able to participate if you want to be part of the program tomorrow. You want to be in the Love Seat and get some coaching from one of the Ladies Power Lunch coaches, that can be arranged. And finally, I want to point to your flag of intention. Who has a flag? Anybody? The flags are in the bags. The cat is in the hat. So the purpose of the flag, we have them at every summit. For those of you who've been to Summit before, you know, for those of you who are joining virtually and you got your swag bag because you were an early bird ticket purchaser, you also have your flag. And if there's anybody out there who wants a flag who didn't get one, I can mail a flag to you. That's fine. But your flag is for you to make your intention for this event and certainly for going forward. So I want to invite you to just take a minute and close your eyes, take a deep breath in, hold the breath, and exhale all the way out. Now go ahead and take a deep breath in again. Hold that breath and exhale all the way out. And one more time, deep breath in and exhale. I just want you to think, what would you like most to get out of our time together over these next 3 days? If everything happened in perfect synchronicity, what would be the outcome that you would like? Would you like to do more networking? Would you like to make more connections? Would you like to connect with some of our speakers? Would you like to learn something specific? And then think a little bit farther out. Over the next 90 days, what would happen in your life that would make things just so amazing, so beautiful? And what would happen this year that would change everything for you? And just take a minute to think about your intention and take a deep breath in, hold the breath, and exhale all the way out. One more time, deep breath in and exhale. And last time, deep breath in and exhale. And I want you to go ahead and write on your flag your word of intention. I'm just going to walk over here and I'm going to pop open the chat. Anybody have a word of intention that's already springing to life for them that they'd like to share with us, maybe from the virtual room? Dr. Tanya says connections. Lori says new connections. Pam says freedom. I love that one. That is always, always one of the ones I like. Co-create. That's Marianne is saying that. Anybody here in the room already have a word of intention? Just raise your flag if you have a word to share. Jen, what do you, passion. Oh, that's a good one. Good one. How about you, Jackie? What's your word? You, Jackie. Sisterhood. Yes. Oh, somebody said collaboration. Everybody has to take a drink. Ooh, Wendy Lee says expansion. I love that. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So many beautiful words. And we'll have an opportunity to share our words with each other as we go through the day. I invite you to share your words with each other, get everybody involved in this. So a couple of years ago, 13 years ago to be exact. I know this because my son is 13. He turned 13 last weekend. Can you believe I have a teenager? I know when I met a lot of you, I was either pregnant or just had a baby. So, it's been a while. But fun story. I joined our practice when we were in an economic downturn. So this was 13 years ago. You know how we're talking about the pandemic having made us have to rethink our life choices? This was what was happening 13 years ago. It was an economic downturn. A lot of people were losing their businesses. A lot of people were losing their jobs. A lot of people were losing their health insurance. And that's when I decided to go into private practice. So perfect timing. Fun and games. I was invited to go out in the community, go network, they said. And I did, and I did not love it at all. How many people here love networking? I applaud y'all. I really, really do. I did not enjoy it. I did not embrace it. And that's surprising coming from me, who I have never met a microphone that I don't like. But I remember I walked into the room, y'all, where this very first networking event that I've ever been to in my whole life was taking place. I walked into this room and everybody's eyes turned onto me. It was like record scratch, all eyes on me. And it was the most uncomfortable feeling. It was terrible. I felt like just opening the door and just making a U-turn and jumping in my car and driving away. And I didn't, because let's face it, we needed to do the networking to get to know the people in the community and that sort of thing. So I walked in the room with not really a smile, probably more like a grimace on my face, and a wonderful woman who's one of our members, she came up to me and she introduced herself to me. And then she walked me around the room and she introduced me to pretty much everybody that she knew. And suddenly this room of strangers who had been looking at me quite strangely when I walked in became people that I now knew. It was really, really different. But one of the things that I didn't love is it was more of a, let me give you my business card and see if you can give me some business. There wasn't some give and take that was happening. But that networking event, with all its flaws, taught me so much. It taught me about what I want to see when I go networking. It taught me about the kind of compassion and the love that I want to see when I go out networking. And so those are some of the things that I try to build in to our Ladies Power Lunch group to make it a welcoming place so that when somebody walks in the door for the first time, or somebody walks in late, or if somebody, whatever, insert whatever you're thinking about here, they still feel welcome. And they know that the people who are in this room have the same sort of values that they have and that they're going to be welcomed. So that's the thought that I want us all to take away from today. My other thought is that when you look out at the world, the messages that are coming through are not necessarily our messages. They're not necessarily the messages of the heart-centered entrepreneurs. They're, well, not. They're just not. There are many ways that I could describe this, but it's not. And so my second mission is to facilitate heart-centered entrepreneurs, mostly women, but let's face it, there are a few men who really, really embrace this idea too. Facilitate the sharing of these heart-centered messages in a bigger and better way so that we can get our messages out front, in front of 20 to 50,000 of our ideal clients, so that we can, one client at a time, change the world. And who thinks that that's a good idea? Yes, ma'am, that sure is. So of course, we do our anthologies, we do our books, we do our summits, we have a TV show, we have our podcast, we have all sorts of ways that we're sharing information. And later in the program, I will share a little bit more about how we do that and invite anybody who feels like being a part of that is something that they want to do to come have a chat with us, and we can talk some more about that. So thank you all for your rapt attention over this past many minutes. I didn't notice anybody falling asleep, so that was great. And I'll hand back over to Wendy, and she can take it from here.